From Hilltop Park to New York Yankees Stadium. My video project will be about the trajectory of the New York Yankees in relocating stadium, which I'll be using the supply and demand of attendance per game to show that they are using their sources efficiently. Let's talk about a stadium. From what I learned during the course, most of the professional sports stadium in use today reflect substantial government subsidies. However, starting to have improvement in parks, causing increase in taxes, rents, and public service to alleviate the cost of the construction of new fields. In contrast of city costs, having a new ballpark or making improvement affects local pattern in economic activity in a positive way. First of all, attract more tourists to spend on the city. It increases revenue of the city. One example coming in our test is the Baltimore Orioles and the Cleveland Indians, the two teams whose new stadiums in 1992 and 1994 touched off the boom in retro stadium. Their average increased 40% and 31% in respective fields. My problem and possible solution. I would try to prove that the New York Yankees, every time they move to a bigger park, their attendance per game increases, which means they are using their sources efficiently. The first Yankee stadium is the Hilltop Park. It was the home of the New York Yankees Major League Baseball club from 1903 to 1912, which they were known as the Highlanders. The park was situated on the top of a hill overlooking the Hudson River. The park opened on April 30, 1903. The ballpark was quite large for its time, 9.6 acres, of nearly double the size of many parks in that era. The park was made of wood with a seated capacity of 15,000. During big games, the park reached full capacity. The fans were allowed to stand outfield. Also, additionally, standees were allowed down the foul line between home plate and backstop. The max capacity of the park was 25,000. The original construction of Hilltop Park cost about 300,000. In 1911, a roof was added over at least a portion of the stands down the left field foul line. In addition, during the 1911, the Yankees shared the park with the New York Yankees for the first 2 months of the 1911 season, while Polo Grounds were being rebuilt. After the 1912 season, the Yankees allowed the New York Yankees to move and share with the Polo Grounds for the next 10 seasons. Hilltop Park was demolished in 1914 and the site has been occupied since 1920 by Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center. Average of attendance of the Hilltop Park is 4,772 is the average of attendance per game, and now on the board I will apply the supply and demand model. Alright, I'll be applying the supply and demand for the Hilltop Park. So what I'm going to apply is this is going to be the capacity of attendance, and this is going to be attendance per game. So we know that Hilltop Park maximum capacity of the stadium is 15,000. This is going to be the supply. In the demand, I average out from the chart that is on the PowerPoint. So the average of demand of the Hilltop Park is 4,722. attendance per game. The second part for the New York Yankees is the Polo Ground. It was built for the sports polo. Polo Ground was the home field for the Yankees from 1913 until 1922. The park capacity was about 34,000 seats. Polo Ground is unique and storied ballpark, was home to many legendary players, championship teams, and memorable sports moments throughout its story. Polo Ground was a hitter paradise. A pop fly down the either line could become a home run easily. When the Yankees acquired Babe Ruth, the team became a huge success, winning games at Polo Ground. The owner of the Yankees, John McGraw, became angry with the Yankees because the team was drawing more fans than the Yankees. After the 1922 season, McGraw evicted the Yankees from the ballpark, leading them to build the greatest stadium of sports, Yankee Stadium. Average of attendance of the Polo Ground 18,138 is the average per attendant per game in the Polo Ground Stadium. Now we'll compare the supply and demand of both stadiums. The next graph I'm going to do is going to be the Polo Ground with the Hilltop Park. So I'm going to graph both parks now. So it's attendance per game in capacity of the stadiums. This time we're going to have two supply curves. It's going to be Hilltop Park 15,000 and second supply curve. This is going to be the Polo Ground Stadium and their capacity is 34,000. Alright, now the first demand curve is the average of the Hilltop Park, that is 4722, and the average for the Polo Ground Stadium is going to be 18,138. So what we see here is every time the New York Yankees move to a new stadium, the attendance per game increases. That means that they're using their revenue efficiently. Average per attendant of the Yankees team. 27,962 is the average per attendance per game in the Yankees Stadium. Now I'm going to compare the average of the previous park to see if the Yankees are being efficient with the relocation of the parks. For the last graph, I'm going to compare the Hilltop Park, Polo Grounds, and New Yankees Stadium. I'm going to use 3 supply curves and 3 demand curves with the average out. So the first one is going to be average attendance per game. And the horizontal is going to be capacity per in stadium. So the first supply curve we know is 15,000. Second supply curve is going to be 34,000. And the last one is going to be 56,886,000. That's the capacity of the New York Yankees Stadium. So we're going to do the demand curve. The first demand curve is going to be 4,772. Second demand curve is going to be 8,138. And last demand curve the average is 27,962. So what we see here is increasing average. So so it was worth it to move from a newer stadium because the Yankees average increases. According to the data I gathered, when the changes of every stadium, the attendance average increases. That means the New York Yankees spend efficiently.